Okay, so I'm gonna just imagine I'm probably not the only one who's dealing with this nonsense. Like, man, some of this shit, like, I'll just say this one thing before I go on my rant is, luckily that there is some people like me who are staying home because, it's the only thing when they start telling you, like when somebody says, oh, well, you're sick. Who got me sick? Did I get myself sick? Who have I been around? Where did this sickness come from? This alleged sickness. Where did it come from? Because I think it's called poison and I think it's coming from the motherfucking sky. And how would I get an opportunity to say that if I didn't have, like at least get them to question, like, where am I getting sick? Where? How am I getting sick then? I'm not around anybody if the sickness is out there. So it's just floating down the road and it just makes its way up my driveway, comes in. I guess it rides Stella's back in here with the other parasites. Like it is, some of this stuff is so fucking absurd right now. And, my post I did this morning when I saw the sky, I couldn't even fucking believe how red the sky was. I was like, oh my God, this is, I could have been after I'd already recorded the first one. I don't know. Like I said, I'm so lost in time at this point. Like I don't even know how to explain. And right now I'm having such, like this, oh my God, I can't even, like it's this impending, like, oh my gosh, something intense, like this intensity. It's like, what the fuck? Even my one neighbor started messaging me this morning nonstop. They can't feel the water heating up. It's like, what? So I've been saying things back. I don't know, it's easy for me to go too far because I'm so far gone from what other people can even understand at all. And it is so clear when you talk to people that people's understanding is like it's the whole concept. It's the whole thing. You cannot talk to somebody outside of their range. It is fucking impossible. And when you're talking outside of their range, it is gibberish to them. You sound like a crazy babbling idiot. They cannot just, so I'm already sitting here at this fucking bullshit fucking headache. This morning when I got up and I did my recording, I don't have any idea what I talked about or anything. I feel so out of it. My head is killing me. I have smoked 2 half joint things this morning, well, like 3/4, and it has not even taken the slightest dent off of this headache. Like this is insane. And the I'm trying to think of all the different symptoms. Definitely my nose is just pouring snot. Not snot, it's just running, just wet. It's not like snot pouring out. But there's deep like snot back in my places, and that's like protection. So whatever is being bombarded on us, the mucus is all there to kind of, protect whatever's trying to get in some of the places. So, but I also was saying, like, when you're coughing and stuff, I think the bigger, denser, like, I don't know how to, like how there's a virus, there's bacteria, all those different things and how they get carried around and they all need vehicles to move around and stuff. And so the different size and the mucus, I think, entraps a lot of the gunk that we're breathing in and gets it out. And, there's something weird with the cigarettes. I know there's something weird with them. But, I just want Ray to know I'm not going to become addicted. There's no fucking way. I can barely get a couple puffs out. It makes me sick. I'm using it totally for medicine, only on the whole thought of the antidote effect. And so I am not even, there's no fucking way and smoking weed, it like is a plant, and it is super like melt, like it's way different. Like, I don't even know what all process they do to get any of this nicotine or whatever. But anyways, let me think what I was talking about. Because so anyways, the sky this morning when I finished, and I must have been standing, I keep doing these stretches and stuff because my neck and my back are hurting so bad, and this band going around my head and my eyes, I can barely see. It is like I am trying to look through some sort of fog or Vaseline or something. And then that just adds to the eye strain, which is back here anyways. But I think I was saying something about all the mucus, but a lot of the mucus is to move that stuff, and so it'll grab onto some of that junk inside your lungs and move it out. But I mean, there's so much that we're all being bombarded with. When I was showing my skies and talking about the redness, other people have different colors and stuff, and it's the different chemicals that they're trying on us, and so the and some of these are just so, they're obviously deadly or something. Like, I feel so freaking sick. I can't even believe it. I can't even imagine how long this has to go on, man. And I don't give a fuck. I'll sit here and fucking die in my house. I'm not going to the hospital. That's what they want to draw you in. And I saw somebody sent me a thing and said Inslee is making it now where we have to have these. And I don't know, they said they were going to do more research. I'm not going to do any of their bullshit. I don't give a fuck what they take away from me. I mean, this is already enough where they're affecting my health already. And, this is just bullshit. And I did those videos this morning and showed the sky. And then some other people came in the comments and talking about their sky and the sicknesses they're having. And so, oh, I forgot I started making those cookies. Hold on just a sec. Wow, there's a whole process I have to do because I'm making the biscotti. So, oh, God damn it, hold on. So now I have to cut them and then put them all on their sides and cook them. So I won't talk for a very long time. But there was something I just had to get off my chest, and I don't even know how to explain it because I already had all that stuff, I was talking about my same old thing. They're always talking about the poison and, taking care of yourself and healing and spirituality and stuff. Like, I feel like I talk about certain things. And so, I was, talking with some people in the comments, and then all of a sudden, my daughter sends me a video. See, I had sent her, the one, so Greta on the news being interviewed, she looks so much older, but they start asking her some stuff, and she says, it's like she's spilling it, because then she says, well, climate change doesn't even exist, so why would we be paying for it? Like, so, that's the video I sent her. Because, I've been saying to them that it's poison in the sky. It is not climate change, and they won't listen to me or whatever. So I thought, well, maybe we'll listen to Greta. She says it. And so, because, of course, I want my kids to take their health seriously. Like, when they're being poisoned, and then they're relying on stupid fucking things like that to keep them healthy. It's like, Jesus Christ. Fuck, this is hard to watch. So then she sends me this video of this guy interviewing this other guy. The one guy looks like fucking Napoleon Dynamite is interviewing some like hick guy, which is totally extreme, whatever these, stereotypical personas that are here playing this part out. And he's interviewing him and he's telling him all about the pervs that run this world. And then all of a sudden, Napoleon tells, the guy who's trying to say there's pervs, all of a sudden starts saying, well, you've got charges on you. You're one too. And in 1988 or whatever, what, an 8-year-old boy? And this guy starts saying that stuff is false, it's made up. And then it ends. And then, so I send a message to my daughter. It's like, I'm not sure what you're sending me this about. Like, is there something I need to know here or something? And she sends back and says something about the letter, and that I need to be aware that that is all made up shit. I was just like, what? And this started a whole fucking thing. I mean, right now, nobody's coming here to stay. This literally started a whole fucking thing. And this is where is like a lot for me to even try and figure out how to even wrap my head around it, because it's so multi-layered. Because, like, for one thing, I even said at one point, so you trust me on this one thing, but now all of a sudden you're telling me that, I'm like, you've got to stop believing this propaganda. And she starts telling me, like, I am the one who believes all this propaganda. Who said what? Whenever I have said anything about the stuff going on, like, I don't go on and on about that. If something comes up, I'm like, yeah, because this is real. Yeah, because those people are really involved. Yeah, because that's real. And sitting there watching that movie with her. And then it shows these rich social climbers sell their own child to a rich ambassador guy so that, and it's a true story. And so I was like, I knew what was going to happen the whole time. And they're like, how'd you know? I was like, because this is real. This is real stuff, you guys. This is really going on. But I don't sit there all day long talking. Like, I don't even know where they come up with this Q stuff. Like, what are you fucking talking about? What? I'm talking about the sky and the weather and sickness and taking care of yourself. So where's this even coming from? Like, what are you talking about? And then it is like, well, I can't be trusted that I'm going to be talking about that stuff to her. And it's like, I'm not going to change who I am. And it's like, to me, you already knew who I was when you asked me. Now you're trying to say something else, like you're trying to control me. You're trying to control my narrative and how I perceive and what I'm looking at. And you're jumping to conclusions. And you are not giving me the respect that I know appropriate behavior. You're sitting there telling me, like, that would be so inappropriate for me to talk to, this girl when she's got her own problems about it. It's like, and I wouldn't know that. And yet you would think that of me and you would send this to her. This is the same fucking thing as when, babysit for me. And then in the next breath, that I'm a crazy liar. It's like, this is so weird. This world is so weird. Don't understand people's roadblocks to seeing, like, fuck, god damn. And then to think like you're all supportive of women, but then you're going to tell me how, and I was like, it is going to hurt when you see, like, I'm not sure how it is, whose eyes you see me through. I don't see, how you see me as being so idiotic. I don't see you as an idiot. Okay, well, I obviously don't know how to do any research. I obviously just am so gullible. I'll believe what anybody tells me. And then I don't know how to act appropriately and how to talk to people. I'm not very able to function. Yeah, and then just the whole way to just all of a sudden out of the blue. And then I'm like, okay, so they're doing all these releases and all these drops. So that the people who they have still on the hook, then they are flooding them with some sort of nonsense to misdirect them. Is the only thing I could think of. And I even said that. And I was like, you need to see this is propaganda to mislead you. I mean, there's nothing I've ever talked about. There is not 100% facts, and they're all around you. And I said, honestly, it's getting to be kind of spooky that you're not seeing what's all around you. Like the facts are out there. Look up the Twitter drops. Like it's everywhere around. Like you may not have a Telegram or whatever, but there's enough stuff. I'm sure there is, I am sure that there is more control over some of these platforms. That more and more information is going to continue just leaking out. But to completely be so blind to it, I said, I said, you don't understand that it's your biases. Your biases are holding you back in your own vision, how you're not seeing. And it's so weird to have your child be so biased against your own mom and then to not see it. Like how they don't see it. It's like, how do you not see it when I see it so clearly? And then when I'm saying things, it's like they don't understand at all what I'm talking about. Like the whole thing, because there's the whole transformation of relationships and how what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. We got that at play. We got the truth at play. We got the biases. We got there's a lot of things, a lot. And I can't, talk on any sort of level and be understood or be heard or whatever, because they're so limited in their perception. I was just like, I'm sorry, this conversation has to end. Your perception is too limited. I love you, but there's no conversation to be had. Like you're talking. It's like, it's so weird that they think that they're talking about real life. It's like, no, real life is happening outside of your reality. You've got to wake up and see what's really going on around you. Like, man, it's so motherfucking creepy. And then to not even see your own biases against your own mom. To sit here and think like I'm some sort of conspiracy theory quack. And how many motherfucking times I've said, there is no conspiracies. It's all facts. You just go out there, look. Anywhere you look, you're going to find the information. But you can't ever get to that. All they can do is stay stuck. All of these people, like as this process is going, it's like everybody is glitched. It's like everybody's just glitched out. They don't know how to, go to the next step. Like, it's like, motherfuck. I can't even believe it. And then, man, I don't know. I don't get it, I know that this is so freaking frustrating. And then on top of it, this attack on, our physicality, make us feel so weak. Like, to me, it does just feel like you just want to crawl up in a ball and just give up. Like, come on, get this fucking over with. Just blow the fucking area up. Like, Jesus Christ, day after day. And then to just get this sicker and sicker. And I mean, when it gets like this with this headache and all of my body hurting and stuff, it's like, oh my God, damn. And you don't even know what to detox out. You don't even know, like, I'm already doing all these detoxes. How do you get this shit out of you? And then they've still got the motherfucking goddamn frequency. And then you got people that are asleep all around you who are bringing it right in. God damn. I'm telling you, even with my power off that day, that it was still so fucking loud. Even when there is no power in the whole area, I can still hear the frequency. It's got to be coming. Like, oh my God, how loud is this shit? How high is it? Oh, this is so much. And then just seeing like how I don't understand And then, you know, to her, it is going to completely seem like I am, you know, I'm so stuck and so rigid and in this cubicle and I have no control. And so I can't even help somebody because of all that. Like, the realities are so, so different. And you know, my whole attitude is like, because I'm not going to sit and argue with her. It's just like, man, you know, I'm shocked at how you're still perceiving. I'm shocked at what you're still seeing. You know, I don't know. All I can tell you is just be prepared, be ready, because when this turns, you are going to be. I mean, the devastation. I think that she's going to feel when she turns and sees the truth, you know, and how, you know, she was against me. Like, I don't know, you know, if my one daughter is seeing it little by little. And my one daughter, the oldest daughter, she's very much just wants to cut everything out. She doesn't want to see or hear anything. Everything gives her way too much anxiety. The second daughter, total anxiety. I mean, I don't know that there's somebody under 40 years old anymore that doesn't have an anxiety disorder. And so she has the same issue, or she doesn't want to see anything. And my other daughter, she does the one that, you know, she's just so misled, so misled. And the youngest one, I mean, she's so misled, she still won't even speak to me. So, you know, it's just so strange. But, you know, I was trying to, I don't want them to add on top of it, because there's going to be so much baggage for them to unpack when they see the truth. And these relationships and stuff, you know, there's no point to argue with the people, to try and convince them, to get them to see. They cannot see. They can't see it at all. And it is just, it is going to fuel their fire of hate on themselves, I think. You know, I just see it so clearly. Like, when things are in conversations and stuff, the things that I'm shown and stuff, it's going to be so hard when people see where their biases came from. Like, it was all them. I even told her at one point, because she was saying something, I said, this is coming from inside of you. This isn't coming from in me. This is coming from inside of you. How do you not see this? And, you know, so, you know, there's so much to this reality of, you know, coming to, and, you know, and having to face yourself. Like, man, it's going to be intense, but I better go do my cookies and stuff. Hopefully this is going to help me purge some of it out and be able to explain it more, because, you know, I'm just like, oh my God, I just don't, how they don't see. But I'm telling you, it's so pointless to try and get them to see what we see. They have to see it in their own time. And they're understanding, no matter what you say, they don't understand it's totally different levels. It's like people under the water. It is really, it is like the containment. And, you know, the people in the water don't hear the way, if we're outside of the water talking to them, they can't hear. It's garbled. And so we just have to keep it in mind, you know, really what is happening with consciousness here. You know, it's consciousness becoming aware of itself in a dream that is very controlled and trapped in. And so, anyways, this is just, it's crazy. So I don't know if she's, hopefully my daughter is going to think it through and see, like, yeah, why would I tell somebody, here, would you do this? But then I'm going to control them and tell them what they can talk about, what they can't talk about, then disrespect them and act like that they don't even know boundaries without me giving them boundaries. And it's like, there's so much. It's like, man, like, God, there's just so much. There's so much. So much. I don't even, oh. Yeah, I'm gonna be so glad when we're going the other direction and things start making sense to people. Whatever is gonna happen, you know, and they've got, it seems like they've got a lot of crises going on all around. And the intensity that I feel is like, man, I mean, seriously, at any second, it feels like anything could just collapse. And, it is just like totally, totally creepy. Like, and everything is still really still because even though it's Monday, it's the New Year holiday. And so they're not going back to school yet or anything, and there's no deliveries and stuff. So it's just really still and eerie. The colors are off. The sickness, I don't know what they're spraying on us, but it's fucked. I'm not doing well with it. I don't know how other people are doing with it, but they're all around a whole bunch of different people, and they just went out around people for other holidays and stuff. So they all think they're sick. So they're not even thinking on the same level as me. So, again, it's all on perspective, and you can't get people to hear you who are stuck in the perspective of this other reality. So, anyways, it's just frustrating. And it's hard to watch, and it's hard to watch your family, and it's hard to know, like, the really pain that she's going to feel when she sees how much she was, because I don't know what's going on inside of her. I'm only seeing what she's showing, and it has been consistent. Like, even in 2020, when I very first started talking and saying things that went off the narrative, then all of a sudden I was a racist. I didn't realize I was in a cult. Like, I could, but even in 2016, when I started talking off the narrative about consciousness, well, I wasn't even talking about consciousness on that level. I was talking about the planetary changes and space people, and space people have an involvement in our world and all of that stuff. And then I was in a cult. It's just constantly, I don't know what is programmed into these people. Like, as soon as you say anything off the narrative, you're in a cult. You're in a cult. You're a crazy person of a cult. It's like, oh my Lord, have mercy. And so, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just gonna go try. I can't find anything to even watch. My head is just killing me. It's so uncomfortable. It's just so intense. And it's just like, oh my God, this has just got to fucking blow and go the other direction. Like, it's just got to be going the other direction. Like, how much fucking intensity can we have before this shit goes down? Like, fuck. So, I don't know. Hopefully something will go today, but I don't know. Maybe tomorrow. God damn. I swear to God, I cannot believe. I swear to God, I think I've been saying the same fucking line for a year and a half. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. We get hopeful for this date, hopeful for that date. Oh, surely this date. Goes one after another. But still, it never changes how I know what's inside. I know no matter what, my struggle is with time and faith and trust, because I know 100% that I don't ever doubt we're not going into the other direction. I just don't know how far we have to go into it for people to see and wake up. Like, I don't understand this whole process, but I can totally see what's going on. I can totally understand it. And it is, it's difficult to participate in this way. But I guess, it's better than participate. Like, oh my God, I just can't even with what, man, with what they, like, there's certain things that they just don't realize. It's just not funny. This is so fucking serious, and you are going to be so disgusted with yourself when you realize what this fucking place is, and how tricked you were, and how you treated your own mom in the name of something that, man, there's a lot. There's a lot. So, anyways, I'm sure some of you guys have the same situations with people in your family, and it seems to really be pulling the tension right now. Energetically, it's being squeezed. So, just stay strong in your own identity. Like I said, that's fine. If you don't want her to come here, I'm not going to bend over backwards. I mean, like, What I'm supposed to sign a contract? I'll never mention pedos or, I mean, when you're going to come at me with control, like trying over what I talk about, like, and then to know, like, you don't even really know what I talk about. And I talk all day long. And none of them know what I talk about. They're gonna be shocked. They're gonna be shocked when they find out, because I think that's coming. Anyway, she's crying now. So just be strong and be true to yourself, and just know, even in uncomfortable situations like that where you have to stand up to people you love, it's for their best. They have to see the truth. Everybody has to see the truth to wake up. So anyways, I'll talk to you later. Bye.